Hi and welcome back to another Amazon selling video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Nikki Kirk and I've been selling on Amazon doing retail arbitrage, all from a fifth wheel RV over the last 4 years. So today I'm going to do a Q&A video answering some of the most frequently asked questions about retail arbitrage and selling on Amazon. So hopefully if you are a beginner or just wondering what this whole thing is, this answers some of your questions. Hands down, the number one question I'm always asked is what scanning app am I using? So I have a lot of sourcing videos where I take you along sourcing with me, and in those videos I am always using 100%, and if I use something else I will tell you, the Amazon Seller app. It is a free app for your phone, Android or iPhone, and it comes with your selling account. So until you're approved for your Amazon selling account, you can't actually use it, but it is just a free app. Once you have your account, you just log in with your email and password that you made for your Amazon selling account and log in and start scanning. I have a whole video that goes over all the beginner Amazon seller app questions, and I will link it here so you can go to it if you want a further walkthrough of the Amazon Seller app. Some of the other apps that I use in store are the Keepa app. I use the Keepa Chrome extension on my desktop or laptop, but I also use the Keepa app in store. Keepa is so essential. I also have a video going over in-depth Keepa, and I will link that here. And I'll just go ahead and link both of those below so that you can watch this video and then go to those if you want to. There are other apps out there. There's BuyBot Pro, which I do use sometimes, not all the time, because it's a little bit slow in store. It'll it takes too long to think, and I'm just scanning. I don't have time to wait around for that. But BuyBot Pro is awesome because it has IP alert built into it. And then another one you might hear people talk about is Scoutify 2, which goes with Inventory Labs. I do use Inventory Labs, however, I don't use Scoutify yet. I will probably learn that next because I hear that also helps speed everything up when you're making a shipment. But anyways, those are other apps you might hear of. At the end of the day, the very free Amazon Seller app is good enough for you if that's how you're starting with limited funds. The other most frequently asked question I get is profit. So it never fails that any video I do showing the sourcing, showing my profit, everyone will say this, but Nikki, if you spent $2,500 and you only made $2,000, you're losing $500. That is not how that goes. I'm talking about profit. If you don't know what profit is, you should learn that first before you start this whole Amazon journey, but I'll fill you in. So the profit is the money you are making, like money in your pocket that you didn't have, that you're not paying out. So if I'm saying I spent $2,500 on cost of goods, and I say $2,000 profit from that shipment, first of all, that's always estimate on my sourcing videos because I have just sent them in. I haven't sold it yet. So that's just an estimate of what I'm going off of from everything I sold. You can get that estimate from the worksheet that I have, which is free if you sign up for my email list, you get it for free, or you can use Inventory Labs, which will show you your estimated profit for a shipment. That profit is always after I made my cost of goods back. So I made that $2,500 back in this example. I made all the Amazon fees, I paid for all that, I paid for the shipping, and I made $2,000 extra profit. So when a company talks about profit, they're talking about literally profit. That is money that you made doing your business. So it's not that I'm trying to scam you that, oh no, I really lost $500 to make a video on YouTube. No. I'm talking about profit. So using the Amazon Seller app, you can see profit for any specific item. And so I'll walk you through one really quickly. So here is a plush My Little Pony that I scanned at Walmart. So you can see right here on the first screen, it's selling for $11.96. That's what the buy box is at. Now when you click through at the top here, you're gonna see the profit screen. So you can say, let's say this was $4.99 at Walmart for me to buy. So already, not even there, not including shipping, if I bought this item, I would make $1.71 profit. That's after Amazon's fees. Now if I want to add in how much it's going to cost me to ship, let's say it's about 50 cents. It's a little lightweight item. It'll cost me 50 cents to add it to a shipment. So now my profit went down to $1.21. Again, that's after the fees, which you can see here. So the referral fee for this for FBA is $1.79, and the pick and pack fee, that's the fee I pay to Amazon to pack the item up and send it to the customer, handle all the customer service, is $3.44. So after I sell the item for $11.96, pay the shipping, pay the fees, get my cost of goods back, I would have an extra $1.21 left over of profit. That means I got the $4.99 back plus an extra $1.21. So that is what I'm talking about in my videos on profit, and that's how you see it in the Amazon Seller app. Another question I get often is, how do I see my total profit, ROI? How do I keep track of all my expenses and all that. I use two tools. I use QuickBooks and I use Sellerboard. Sellerboard is relatively inexpensive. I think it's $15 or $19 a month to use it. It comes with a really handy app, and it actually tells you after you've sold everything how much profit you're making for your items, right? And it's cool because it has photos of all the stuff you're selling. It tells you individually. You add the cost of goods in there. So every time I go in there, probably once or twice a month, I add the cost of goods for any new stuff, and it'll tell you, it'll actually forecast out for you like what it thinks you're going to do that month, both profit and shows you your margin and your ROI and all that stuff. So it's really handy. It's a nice to have tool. QuickBooks is something I regret not doing from the very beginning, not learning a software, an accounting software. It is not very hard to figure it out, but it does take a little bit of time for those people who don't like the business side of it, like me. I like the sourcing. I don't like the business side of stuff. But QuickBooks is pretty easy. You can use, there's like an online one or self-employed one. Hot tip that if you sign up for QuickBooks and then you ever go to like cancel it, they'll be like, oh, do you want it for this cheaper? So you can always try that to get it a little cheaper if you need to. But yeah, QuickBooks is something I regret not doing from the very beginning. Once you get everything in there, it ties your account. So you should be having all of your business stuff on a separate bank account, separate credit card, everything business and personal separated. It makes it really easy to track everything, and it all just goes right into QuickBooks. QuickBooks does not tie into your Amazon account, but because you're using those bank accounts and credit cards only for Amazon, and all your Amazon payouts go to those bank accounts, which show in your QuickBooks, it really is tied into it, just not directly. Another question is like, do you have to have a business license? Do you have to have an LLC? Can you start as an individual or a professional account? You can start however you want to start. So a professional selling account on Amazon is what I started with because I was all in on this. Like I wasn't just playing around with it. I went all in, and when you put a little money into it, which on this case is $39 for the Amazon professional fees, it actually kind of drives you to do this more. However, if you are limited on funds or you just want to kind of play around with it, you could start with an individual free account. There's some differences in it, and the main one is that with the professional, you do win the buy box, and you want to win the buy box. With the individual, you don't, and you have to pay an extra fee on anything you sell as an individual account. I think it's $1. So if you're selling 40 items, well, now you're paying more than you would have paid if you just got a professional account. So all that to say, you can do either one. You can switch, you can go back and forth. If you're trying to get ungated, it does not matter which account type you have. You can be professional, get ungated as an individual account, go to a professional, go professional backlog. Doesn't matter, it all works because it's still your account. You don't need an LLC or a business license to sell on Amazon. You can get started as a sole proprietor. You can get a sales tax certificate as a sole proprietor if you want to. You don't have to. Business license, LLC, all that stuff is more of a protection for you as you grow your business, and also help you get ungated, getting wholesale accounts and all that stuff. Some require it, some don't. I specify all that in my guides if you're trying to go with me to get help getting ungated. You don't need any of that to sell on Amazon. If you do that, and you're in the process of getting ungated, your legal entity has to match the invoice and your Amazon account. So I don't recommend switching while you're in the process of getting ungated. You should have it all the same. So if this is confusing you, just forget about it. But if it's helpful to you, you'll know it because you'll understand what I'm saying. But basically your legal entity, if you switch that to be a business or an LLC, it has to match the invoice. So if you placed your order and they're like, oh, I'm going to switch this, and it won't match, that's a problem. So you want them to match. You can switch your account anytime. Again, you can go from sole proprietor to an LLC or S Corp or whatever it is, partnership, however you've structured your business, you can do that at any time. It's perfectly fine. Amazon doesn't care. You just have to update your tax information like a W-4 or 2 or whatever it is where you sign up. Like if you were going to start working, it's the same thing. You just fill out the tax form. I'll just add a disclaimer here that I am in no way a professional tax person, accountant, business expert. I'm not an expert in anything. I'm just an average person who sells on Amazon and makes videos about it. So please consult a professional if you have any questions. I am not that. And since we've just covered that, I'm going to go into sales tax. So Amazon now collects sales tax in every state except for Missouri. So if you are a reseller only selling on Amazon platform, if you sell on other platforms, this would not apply because every platform has its own rules. And if that platform you're selling on is not collecting sales tax, then you might be eligible. TaxJar.com is a wealth of information on all things taxes on all different platforms, Amazon specifically, but other platforms. So for Amazon, exactly. If you go to your account under settings and tax settings, you'll see a box there with all the different states, and if they're grayed out, that means Amazon is collecting it. So Missouri is the only one that is not, and if you have Nexus in that state, you might have to be remitting your sales tax. Again, not a professional, I'm just telling you how it works. If you do have a sales tax license in your state, you do need to make sure to file whatever sales tax is due. Even if that is a 0 because the marketplace facilitator, who is Amazon, is collecting it for you, you still have to file. Please don't forget to file because they will hit you with penalties. Thank you, Florida. I have been hit with that. Last thing about taxes is how do you file your taxes and all that stuff. It is not very hard. I know it's like, again, I don't like the business side of it. I really don't like filing taxes. I don't mind the process of it. It's just like I don't like having to do it. So anyways, it's not hard. I use TurboTax. I did self-employed, and you just enter in all the stuff. Like even Amazon has a whole sheet that tells you how much you paid for shipping, how much you paid Amazon in referral fees and all that kind of stuff. And that's an expense on your business, and you gets tax deducted out and all of that. TurboTax walked me through it. I did it for 3 years with them. I now have an accountant who does it for me, but before that I did it all myself, and it was really easy. So don't freak out about it. It's not actually all that hard. As long as you keep your receipts, have everything separate, even if you wait till the last second like I do and do it all at the last minute, it's still not that hard. It takes about a week of me like sitting down to do it. Other questions: how often do I source? So I personally source about once a week. This year it kind of was like every other week, so like 2 or 3 times a month. However, now we're in Q4 and I am going every week again because everything is hot and selling and I want to get it all in. So I do it part-time. I source one day, I pack it up 1 day or 2 days depending on how long it took and when I started. Lots of people source multiple times a week, so it's all up to you and what you can do. Like I sourced this week, the first store I did was Walmart. I spent 3 hours in there, and honestly I got most of my stuff there. I probably could have just stopped after that. Marshall's was a dud, Tuesday Morning was a dud, Ross was a dud, like every other Walmart after that was kind of a dud. So it really was like I sourced for 12 hours, but really I probably could have stopped after 3. So if you could only have 3 hours, just dedicate that to one store and then do 3 hours another afternoon or morning or evening or whatever. You can make this work with whatever time you can put into it. Another question I got asked was how many days do I give in between going back to a store that I just went to? So for me, since I'm pretty much on the move every week or two, I am in a new store every time, so it doesn't really totally pertain to me. However, I have been in long stays over months. So like when I was at my parents' house in Oregon, there was where I was pretty centrally located, so I had a sourcing place. I just call them sourcing loops. So I had a sourcing loop to the south, a sourcing loop to the northeast, and to the northwest. And so I would literally alternate 1 week, 1 week, 1 week, and I would just go like that. So it was about 3 weeks in between the different stores. And that works for me. I think some people go every 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. So that would be what I suggest. But as you go, you'll start to learn whatever, like if there's stuff there or not. If there's still nothing there, you might need to give it another week or 2. What am I doing about toys and toy compliance documents? So it was confused in another video when I talked about this, probably because I was sourcing and just rolling through it. But the toy compliance documents are not going away. I'm not talking about IP alerts. That is something else. Toy compliance documents are toy specific. They are not like anything bad on your account if you have to supply one. The problem is that we have to supply one. So every seller has to supply their own documents. It doesn't go for the whole product page. So if seller in New York happens to supply it for the Lego, that doesn't mean that I don't have to supply it for the Lego, because Amazon doesn't know where their stock and my stock are coming from. If I'm doing something fake, like that's my stock specific, right? So toy compliance documents come from the brand or a distributor who will get them from the brand or manufacturer. And if you're in my toy ungating groups, those suppliers can help you get them, but it is not guaranteed. Again, you have to get them straight from the brand or the supplier. And the problem as retail arbitrage sellers is that we don't have those relationships necessarily, right? So it's harder for us. If you get one, I think you get a couple of weeks or a month. It depends. What Amazon changes what they do all the time. Some come away right away. Some stay on there forever. You just got the document and you didn't actually have to supply it. It's Amazon protecting themselves and their customers. So if the customer gets hurt, they know that you have the document to prove that yours is authentic. It's Amazon protecting themselves. Now, if you get one, it might go that your listing gets deleted. Sometimes the entire listing gets deleted and your item goes stranded. If it's just your product that got deleted and the product page is still there, I have had luck relisting them from stranded, so you could go try that, or you can ask for it back, return it to the store, or try and sell it again, FBM. So that's what I'm doing with them. I'm not worried about them necessarily. I deal with them as I come up, which, fun fact, is how I deal with everything on Amazon. When it comes up, I deal with it. I don't worry about it beforehand. I just deal with it when it comes up. So that's my attitude, and it's been working for me. So I try not to. I got enough stuff going on. I don't want to boggle more down with worry. Why do I have my $5 minimum 50% ROI rule when I'm out buying stuff? So I don't buy anything unless it makes $5 minimum profit. And the reason is that Amazon prices are always changing. They're always fluctuating. And if the price drops, at least I'm still making a profit. It might not be the $5 I thought, but it's still $2 maybe, right? So if I got something in that was going to make $2 profit and then the price drops $2 and now I'm just cut even, well, that was a waste of my time, my resources to pack it up and now lose money. So that's why I have the $5. The 50% ROI really comes into play when it's like $20 and above. If I'm spending $20 on a product, I want to at least make $10 profit. 50% ROI, $10. So that's why I have it. Every seller is different. You can do what you want. If you want to buy something for $2 and flip it for $2 profit, by all means do it. I just like to make sure I'm using my time and money wisely, and I don't want to send something in that's not going to make a profit. Since Q4 is here, if you are wondering what sells during Q4, everything. If you're in a scanning rut or you're only thinking toys is all that sells during Q4, you are wrong. Everything sells. Toothpaste sells. Shampoos, grocery, everything is going to sell during Q4. Not necessarily specific to holiday, but just everyone's shopping online, so your sales in general will pick up. You can go a little bit higher in ranks if you want to during Q4. Everything will be selling, it'll be hot, and it's going to be really awesome. I can't wait for it. I'm so excited. It started to pick up a little bit, but in the next 2 or 3 weeks, it's really going to pick up. If you're in a scanning rut, branch out. If you've only been scanning Walmart grocery, do something else. Go to a different store, go to a different aisle in Walmart, try something new. Scan something you wouldn't have thought of. If you want to join the BOLO group to get ideas, by all means, you are free to join it. Because you see what other people are scanning, and then it helps you know about new stores or new categories or new brands that you never would have thought to scan. So move out of wherever you are in that rut, go to a different town, go to a different city if you can, just take a little drive. All right, that's all I got for you for this Q&A video. I hope this video was helpful. If you want to learn more from me on how to get started doing Amazon retail arbitrage, I have my beginner FBA course, which goes over online arbitrage, retail arbitrage, FBM, FBA, and it comes with a really helpful community, so you can join that. I'm in there answering questions all the time. I've also got the BOLO group or UNGATED groups, or I've got these free videos here for you if you want them. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you back here for another Amazon selling video.